Rust is the most loved programming language on Earth, with an ever-growing cult of devs that are ready to give their lives for it. Microsoft is currently rewriting parts of Windows in it. The Linux kernel let it in the door a few months back, and somehow Rust came close to being just another scrap project. Not once, but 3 separate times. Here's why anyone should care in the first place. For about 40 years now, C and C++ ran basically everything, and they also caused something like 70% of the security bugs in stuff like Chrome and Windows because somewhere a human forgot to free a piece of memory. Rust's whole shtick is to be a compiler that refuses to let you make that mistake. It won't build the code. Annoying, sure, but Microsoft is using it. Google's baking it into Android. Amazon built Firecracker, the thing your Lambda functions run on, entirely in Rust. And devs don't just tolerate this language, they're weirdly obsessed with it. Most loved language on Stack Overflow's survey pretty much every year it's existed, which is exactly what makes what happened next so dumb. Rust was literally invented by a guy working at Mozilla on Mozilla's time in Mozilla's building. Mozilla had already cut around 70 jobs back in January 2020, so people were nervous, but nobody expected what came next. So when Mozilla laid off a quarter of the company that August, something like 250 people, and flat out killed the Servo team, Rust's own experimental browser engine, along with it, the reaction online was basically, does Rust just die now? And for a minute, that felt like a real question, because Rust didn't have another obvious sponsor lined up. 18 months later, though, in February 2021, Rust somehow got adopted by all of big tech at once. AWS, Google, Huawei, Microsoft, and Mozilla itself, all funding a brand new independent Rust foundation. Rust didn't need a parent company anymore. It got 5. Cool, so it survives the funding scare. That's one life gone, except surviving big tech's approval wasn't even the hard part. A few months later, the entire team responsible for moderating the Rust community quit all at once, saying the people actually in charge, the so-called core team, answered to nobody. They never even said what set it off. Just gone. No explanation. Which honestly made the community speculation way worse than whatever actually happened. Then, in February 2022, 3 core team members quit in the same week, including Steve Kladnick, the guy who wrote the actual Rust book, who said he wanted to focus on using Rust instead of making Rust. That's a rough thing to say about your own project publicly. And somehow, nothing broke. No fork, no collapse, no headline about Rust being dead. New moderators just showed up, and life went on like nothing happened. That makes 2 times Rust barely escaped the shadow realm. Then, in 2023, the Rust Foundation tried to trademark police the actual word Rust. Under the draft policy, you technically couldn't even put the word in your own crate's name or use the logo on your social media bio without risking a violation. The community revolted so hard that Graydon Hoare, the guy who literally created the language, publicly agreed with the people mad at his own foundation. Somebody even spun up a joke fork called Crab just to protest the whole thing. The foundation apologized within 2 weeks and quietly rewrote the entire policy from scratch. So line it up. In about 3 years, Rust lost its founding company, lost half its own leadership, and made its own community turn against it. And every single time, it came out the other side with more users than it had going in. Kind of fitting, honestly, since the guy who made it named it after a fungus that's, and I'm not making this up, quote, over-engineered for survival. Rust wasn't supposed to make it this far. It just refused not to. Just like you're refusing to give up on learning new languages. That's why I want to show you a few courses from Coursera, the sponsor of today's video. First, Rust from Zero by Pragmatic AI Labs. Beginner-friendly, no prior Rust needed. It takes you from Rust up and your first hello world straight into ownership, borrowing, and the borrow checker. The exact stuff that makes a compiler refuse to build broken code. Once you've got your footing, the Rust for Data Engineering specialization, also from Pragmatic AI Labs, takes you way past the basics. 31 courses covering everything from ETL pipelines and SQL, NoSQL databases to serverless functions on GCP and full CI/CD shipping workflows so you actually build production-shaped systems instead of just toy programs. And then, open source software development methods by the Linux Foundation, the direct answer to everything you just watched happen to Rust's own community. You'll learn collaboration practices, licensing models, and honestly, there's a whole section literally called Leadership versus Control and Why Projects Fail. All 3 courses are self-paced. With certificates you can add straight to your LinkedIn. Use my link in the description for 40% off 3 months of Coursera Plus. Go check it out.